Today I'm going to be talking about validity. I am Nina Schneider. I am your SCS 502 instructor, and specifically I'm going to talk about the difference between reliability and validity, just a brief review, and then specifically spend a little bit more time talking about how to assess validity of the measures of the articles that you're reading. As a little reminder, reliability refers to the consistency or the stability of a measure, whereas validity talks about the accuracy of the measure. There are a few different ways to assess validity. It is not an all or nothing idea. In other words, you're going to be commenting upon some evidence for the support of validity as well as some critiques. And there are a few different ways of exploring validity. We're specifically focusing just on the measures today. There's also internal validity, which is the confidence that you have that the independent variable is truly impacting the dependent variable. In other words, the success in the overall research methodology to remove confounds. And then also external validity, or the ability to generalize the results to other populations, other samples. But again, we're just focusing only on the measures. And when it comes to the measures, these are the different types of validity that we're going to be taking a look at. If you're having difficulty really focusing and or applying these terms to the measures, that's okay. I want you to focus less on applying the terms and focus a little bit more on simply applying the ideas behind it. So we're going to first look at criterion validity. Most of the articles that we're talking about for our milestone papers really don't assess criterion validity. It is something that's typically provided for you in the terms of a number or information from a validity study, and I don't believe there are any articles that mention this. But predictive validity is the ability to accurately predict a future behavior based on the measure. So for example, GREs, which we know and love, has the ability to pretty accurately predict the success of a student in their first year of graduate school. On the other hand, concurrent validity is the ability to predict your current behavior. So IQ and grades are oftentimes linked. That means your current assessment of your intelligence is a good measure, or concurrent is typically related to your current grades. Content validity is how well a measure is assessing the construct or the idea that's being measured. So for example, if you are developing or utilizing a depression measure, how well is that measure actually assessing depression? Most of the articles you're going to take a look at will provide enough information so that you can comment upon face validity, and I think that's where you probably are going to spend most of your time. Face validity is basically, does the measure look like it's measuring the construct? Have the authors operationalized the definition of depression? Are the questions seemingly to connect to that construct or connect to that operationalization? And then the other is whether or not the measure is actually assessing depression. And you'll compare one depression measure to a second depression measure. Again, I'm not sure that any of the articles actually mention construct validity. Validity is awfully hard to establish, and most articles and most experiments really just focus on hoping that there is that relationship and that validity, and focus a little bit more on the other ways to validate a research methodology. They don't focus much on a measure. There's also some focus on convergent and divergent validity. Measures are correlated with other measures that they should be. So in other words, depression is related with other depression measures. Divergent validity or discriminant validity indicates that it's not connected with other constructs which may not appear to be connected to depression, such as eating disorders. This is a brief introduction. I know it's a lot of content in this both video and online, Please make sure to reach out to me if you have any questions. There's still some great resources out there. Take advantage of all of them. And as always, I'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.